Hi, I'm Sally Kirkman from sallykirkman.com, and I'm here with my dear friend and fellow astrologer Christina Rodenbeck from oxfordastrologer.com, and we're here to talk to you about the star sign Capricorn. Let's all get very serious now while we're talking about Capricorn.
Capricorn, it's a sign of midwinter in the north. It begins at the winter solstice at the time when on the shortest day. That is the day that Capricorn begins. So what happens after the shortest day is that the days get longer. Okay, so there's hope coming out of that, or things start to get better, they improve. It's represented by a sea goat, right? Or goat sea, or anyway, a goat with a fish's tail.
Yeah.
And people often forget about that fish's tail, or the serpent's tail. It's curly, it's weird, it's a mythical creature. And Capricorn is a sign that is climbing the mountain, as a mountain goat, but it's also got its tail in the sea. So it's a sign that it is very much in the material world, but also in the world of spirit.
Shamans, they make incredibly good shamans,
Capricorns.
And hermits.
Yeah.
Capricorn, you could find a Capricorn meditating or living as a hermit on a mountain.
Yeah.
So that is one archetype of Capricorn for sure.
Yeah.
Solitude. I mean, it's, I think also the theme of winter is there's kind of a sense of hibernation, wintering, aloneness, being by yourself.
Being alone at the top as well. I mean, so that's why also we associate it with CEOs, people at the top of industry.
Yeah.
Because it's lonely. It's lonely at the top.
Yeah.
Right. And that's something, loneliness is something that a lot of Capricorns have got to deal with in their lives and come round to and figure out. And making connections with other people can be really important and actually quite difficult sometimes for Capricorns.
Yeah. And why is that kind of thing? I think it's because, it's not an extrovert social sign naturally, is it? They don't very often do the chit chat or all the social niceties. It's ruled by Saturn, so there's a serious nature about Capricorn. They can come across in a way that's quite serious, and then that can bring this kind of, some people may find them aloof, or they're not fun. So Capricorn has to work harder at finding that that extrovertness, that coming outness, that being able to engage with the other as well.
Yeah, I'm thinking about my friend who is a shaman. That's what she does. And she has been since she's a Capricorn. She's married to a Capricorn. Her partner that she does a lot of her work with is a Capricorn.
Oh my word.
Yeah, it's totally a Capricorn world. And she, was one of these people who was like an old lady when she was a young person.
Yeah.
She was like Victorian feeling as a youth, when everybody else was out partying and whatever. She was very serious. And now that she's an old person, an elder, she is very playful and strangely youthful.
Yeah.
And all of that kind of giddy goat stuff is really coming out as an older person, but it's really in the last, this last third of her life, that it's come out. And it's taken a long time for everybody else to catch up with her. And this is one of the issues also for Capricorn, is like they're often just like so much more mature than other people are. The rest of us are sort of struggling our way through life, not understanding how things work.
I think this is one of the advantages of, as children, they sometimes have this old head on young shoulders. And it means they're not, going out and doing all the flippant stuff. So they're at home learning, studying. They often have a long-term goal in mind. They do extremely well because there is a studious side to them. So, they're prepared, they're willing to knuckle down, work hard, have these long-term goals. And they're the ones who silently and quietly end up in the top positions.
Yeah.
As the rest of us are just,
Or you see them incredibly hedonistic. I can think of some very hedonistic Capricorns, but it's almost like they're taking the hedonism like a job. Like, I'm going to do this really, really seriously for 10 years and like really kind of that. And then I'm going to, and then I'm on to my next thing. I've done that as a job. I've been through that journey, that mill. and now I can go on to the next thing. They seem to have a plan, Capricorns, even if to everybody else it's a strange plan. I mean, it's a creative sign. This is something that we, is not discussed, or there are a lot of singers who are Capricorns, and singers who, write their own songs and everything, like serious musician singers with amazing voices.
This very is soulful, incredibly soulful, and deep. There's a depth, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a real depth to Capricorn as well, an inner depth. So I do think, and it's often, I think it's a sign that does kind of, again, because they're on their own, they do get to know themselves really well. They often have a very strong sense of identity. They know who they are.
And if they're allowed to explore themselves deeply, then there's incredible power to Capricorn.
Yeah.
And that's why, they can end up being people in charge of stuff. It's because they know themselves. And also they have an understanding of how hierarchies is a hierarchical sign. They have an understanding of hierarchies and system and how things work. And also they see hierarchies, they see things in terms of hierarchies. When we get to Aquarius, we talk about, a different way of seeing systems, but this is a hierarchical system that Capricorns really understand. So and universities are often Capricorn places.
Oh, they are very much so. And I was going to say that, it is cardinal earth as well, isn't it? So, they often have a very good head for business and the world of business, and they just seem to thrive in the corporate world very often. They have, and as you're saying, it's about these hierarchies. They have the understanding of these institutions and these systems, and they seem to fit well into that, whereas other star signs necessarily don't.
In fact, is it Capricorns that have made up all this sort of skyscraper stuff? I keep on, what's that movie with thingy? But all these corporations and giant skyscrapers are sort of a Capricorn place to do work, because they're like mountains, man-made mountains.
And they want to have the penthouse at the top.
Exactly.
Or the office at the top with the best view and the biggest desk.
Exactly. They're kind of like 50 Shades of Grey, that guy, whatever his name is, but the sort of fantasy boss, sexy person is sort of Capricorn.
And they are incredibly sexy. Don't you think?
Me, not so much. It doesn't work for me.
Okay,
work for you?
Yeah. I mean, we're not doing celebs here, but I can think I can think of a few who it's very much worked for.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. Now that I'm thinking about it.
We're
not doing celebrities on this. No, you have to go look up Capricorn celebrities yourself.
There's some who really, there's a sort of ruggedness and earthiness again. It's earth signs. Earth signs are sexy, and it's the horned, it's the horned creatures, the goats and the rams. They've got, they've got that earthy sexiness.
Yeah. Okay.
Shadow side?
The shadow side is being cold. Cold heart,
cold, aloof, and cut off from one's emotions and hearts, and then cut off from other people as well. Don't, there's a solitude can be a great thing, but don't, be there for other people as well, or engage with other people too, and don't lose that.